Hello, and welcome to this special Christmas episode of Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on episode 16 of Ore Monogatari. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. Now, last we left off, Takeo has sort of, narrowly avoided big relationship trouble and simultaneously picked up a protege, or I was almost going to say assistant, but he's going to be training her. So I'm wondering, what exactly the long-term implication of this whole business will be. Because, this was very nearly a big misunderstanding relationship-wise. And I feel like this Sanjo girl, for I think that was her name, I don't think she's gonna give up quite so easily, And while, Yamato's position is undoubtedly secure, and she's sort of realized this, I don't know, I feel like prolonged contact will sort of erode that a little bit. Now, yeah, okay, so Yamato is sharing this with her friends. And I guess it's a good sign that they're reassuring her further. The idea here is that Takeo really isn't all that popular with girls, so, what are the odds that there would be two? And, there's also just the circumstances from previous episodes about Takeo going out of his way to study and trying to get into the same university as Yamato. All available evidence really points to Takeo being faithful in all that. Wow. That seems kind of tactless to just sort of ask Yamato, hey, you mind if I bring that other girl along? And at least Yamato's not being hostile or anything. Although that said, I don't think she really has a hostile bone in her body. I would have at least expected that she would have been a little standoffish. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling like this isn't the end of things. There's going to be more trouble to come. Although that said, Seijo, she's sitting over by Makoto. They might be a nice item. Yeah, that's an interesting observation. The fact that she needs to cool down her food so much is cute. I don't know. Not necessarily a cute trait, I wouldn't think, but, to each their own. I feel like in Takeo's mind, everything she does is cute. Now, maybe leaving the two of them alone is a bit of a calculated risk, just in case somebody does something untoward. But, if nothing else, Yamato is trying to be friendly. I feel like in doing so, she might accidentally, uncover something, because it certainly seems like Seijo was telling a bit of a lie, She does like him, but, she had to sort of temper it for now. I mean, if nothing else, it seems like Seijo really likes Takeo for the same sort of reason. It is telling that they both have the same reaction to him. Yeah, on the one hand, it is kind of heartwarming how they both sort of talk about Takeo, but on the other hand, I feel like Takeo shouldn't really hang out with this girl at all. Yeah, I guess the nice thing is that they both have all sorts of things to say about Takeo that are great, and they're all just sort of on the tip of their tongue. So I guess, if nothing else, considering how things are going, it's nice that the two are getting along. They seem to sort of be kindred spirits. I was kind of saying this earlier, it's probably a bit beyond the scope of Ore Monogatari, but it would be nice if, Makoto could find a nice girl for himself too, and, Seijo may or may not be his type, and she may not care for him either. But, that wouldn't be bad, I don't think. Now that I'm thinking about it, romance-wise, I don't believe Takeo or Yamato have kissed yet, there's still, that's still something that needs to happen at some point. We almost got it not that long ago, but events conspired to interrupt. Hey, there was surprisingly little school festival shenanigans. A little disappointing, but I feel like we're going to get to the meat of the episode pretty quickly. I'm wondering if we're going to follow up with Seijo. I feel like there's more going on here, She sort of gave like a meaningful look. And I get the feeling that there's going to be some focus on her being depressed over this whole thing. Now I guess that means Makoto might have to step in, maybe not in terms of like subterfuge or anything, but I feel like he'll have to work kind of surreptitiously to sort of smooth things out before it can really cause trouble. I think I've said it a couple times before, but it's really nice how frequently and freely they sort of say they love each other. Not necessarily out loud all the time, but they certainly think it frequently. Okay. Yeah, I know where this is going. Makoto's asking the tough questions here. I feel like this is going to end with some advice like, maybe you shouldn't hang around with Takeo, because clearly there's something else going on here. Yeah, I think she's protesting a little bit too much, And I think Makoto's cutting right to the heart of the matter, Despite all of your protests to the contrary, I don't think our feelings regarding Takeo are the same. And I guess it doesn't help that Takeo is so insistent that no girl would ever fall for him. Because, of course, it certainly seems like Seijo's doing it right now. Yeah, that's that's interesting that she would sort of keep a photo that happens to have both of them in it, if not together. Yeah, this is an interesting dynamic whereby she wants to hang out with Takeo but sort of keep her feelings kind of a secret. I mean, Makoto knows, and she knows he knows, but she can't really admit it either. Yeah, I mean, Takeo doesn't necessarily know why, but I think he is sort of grasping it. She's in an awfully cheerful mood today. I wonder why that is. And, just when Yamato sort of asks if he's busy, that punctures the mood. Until he says, I'm already doing something with Seijo. She's being, pretty transparent about it for anybody except Takeo, it seems like. Although, if I were in his position, I don't know how much better I would fare. I have the benefit of being an outside observer. I guess it's also interesting that Yamato is disappointed that Seijo and Makoto aren't there either. Makoto, that makes sense, but, Seijo, that they've already sort of become fast friends is interesting. Or at least, that's Yamato's interpretation. I'm still not convinced with Seijo and where she stands on all of this. Because really, her goals and Yamato's goals are at odds. I don't think there's really any way to reconcile both of them without somebody being disappointed. Yeah, and you know what? I think Takeo's sort of spreading this information along. That's, probably gonna sting a little bit. Okay. So, she is already aware that she is very clearly in the wrong here. And Makoto doesn't even have to say it, I'm glad he's being the voice of reason here, that really the only one who's going to lose out is you by, not being forthright about things. And that said, I don't think being forthright's gonna make the situation much better or anything like that. It'll just sort of get it over with. I really do hope that she does take Makoto up on his advice and just, tear the Band-Aid off. Oh, okay, that's an odd thing to say, that, that charm on your phone, that's just a ploy by your girlfriend to show everyone you're taken. That seems like a vindictive kind of thing to say. Like, your girlfriend doesn't trust you. And as it turns out, Yamato has some reason to worry. Not about Takeo, but about all these other girls. So I'd imagine this is uncharted territory for Takeo, because sure, Yamato confessed, in a roundabout sort of way, but now there's a second girl. I'm certain he never thought something like this would happen, so I guess the question is, now what? Like, obviously, he can't accept that. I'm glad that he didn't really even seem to entertain the idea. And it is kind of nice that he apologized too, like, sorry, it can't happen, not like, get out of here or anything like that. Yeah, so I guess this is kind of interesting in that retroactively, Takeo has been made a liar. He's not popular with girls, but he is popular with a couple, and that's all it really takes. Yeah, good on Makoto for, I guess, sticking around to sort of pick up the pieces. Because no doubt there was going to be some fallout from this. And I don't think Saijo's a bad person or anything. It's just one of those unfortunate things that happens. I guess it's also interesting for the shoe to be on the other foot, as it were. Not so much that somebody likes Makoto instead of Takeo, but more that somebody likes Takeo and, there's no possible way for it to go forward. Yeah, I guess they really had to pack a lot into this episode, seeing as how they're playing the credits over the episode. I guess we can only hope that Takeo somehow manages to set everything right. Because, as things stand, the situation isn't great, His relationship with Yamato is fine and all that, but, I don't think it'd be a really good thing to just sort of, let things crumble as far as Saijo's concerned. Alright, so this is some good stuff. He remembers what it was like to be in her position. So, okay. I had a little tinge of, fear for a moment. But, alright. He's doing the right thing. And I think he's doing the right thing in the best way possible, He's informing Yamato of what happened. And he didn't turn Saijo down because he has a girlfriend. It's because he loves her. Either would have done as an excuse, but he opted for the more serious one, which I think is, it's definitely a sign of commitment. I guess I sort of assumed that he was going to go run over, check on Saijo, and, try and reassure her a bit, but, well, I guess, maybe there's still time. He and Yamato can do that together. Seeing as how, they're both pretty well disposed to Saijo in spite of everything. Not that she was malevolent or anything. Alright, I think it might not be the first time that they've sort of said they love each other, but I think it's sort of like the first time it's been kind of mutual, if that makes any sense. Like they've said it back and forth directly. Maybe I'm misremembering since they sort of think it so frequently. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but I guess it can't be avoided that they really can't be friends with Saijo. It would just be too awkward, I do feel a little bit bad for Takeo, having been so oblivious to things up until this point, when everything was spilled out in front of him. But, Makoto makes a good point, that's something people must like about him, surely. Or at least it's not so odious that they would write him off entirely. Yeah, this is kind of sad in its own way that there isn't really anything he can do in good conscience to comfort her. And I guess friendship is kind of out of the question too, just because there's a possibility for something else to happen. I mean, if nothing else, Saijo's sort of acting normally, so I'm wondering if this is a new status quo that's been achieved. I mean, I imagine things will always be kinda weird or awkward, but, I don't know. I feel like, so long as Makoto is here to help smooth things out, things will kinda be okay. I guess that's nice too, that Takeo's sort of resolved to help her as much as possible. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. Merry Christmas, Space Cowboy.